All right, let's talk about how to actually get what you want out of an AI. It really is the key skill for using these tools, and it's what separates a truly amazing result from, well, a total mess. So let's just dive right in.
You've totally been there, right? You ask ChatGPT or some other AI a question, you're expecting something brilliant, and what you get back is just kind of generic or unhelpful, or sometimes it's just flat out wrong. It's so frustrating, and you start to think, is this thing really as smart as everyone says it is? But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't the AI? What if it's how we're asking?
Well, the solution has a name. It's called prompt engineering. And don't let the name scare you off. Just think of it as the missing user manual for AI. It's not about writing code or anything complicated like that. It's really the art and the science of crafting the perfect request to guide the AI to give you exactly what you're looking for. It's how you get back in the driver's seat.
So, what even makes a prompt perfect? It's not magic, it's more like a recipe. A really great prompt has a few key ingredients that when you put them all together, give the AI total clarity on what you need.
Let's actually build one right now. We start with an instruction, something simple like summarize this article. Okay, easy enough. Now let's add some context, like for a 5th grade student. See, that immediately tells the AI who the summary is for. Next up is the output data, which would be, the actual article text. And finally, the output indicator in 3 bullet points. Do you see how each piece just adds another layer of precision? Now, you don't always need all 4, but the more of them you use, the better your results are going to be.
But wait, there's more. Writing the prompt is just one half of the story. Most of the more advanced AI tools also give you access to what is basically a control panel, a whole set of levers and dials that let you fine-tune the AI's personality and how precise its answers are.
Probably the most important setting is something called temperature. And the best way to think about it is like a creativity thermostat. If you set a low temperature, something close to 0, you're making the AI very focused and factual. It's going to pick the most likely, most predictable words. This is absolutely perfect for things like summarization or just a basic Q&A. But if you turn that temperature way up, you're telling it to be more random, more creative. It's awesome for brainstorming or writing a poem, but probably not what you want if you're looking for a single correct answer.
And you've got other controls too. Top P is kind of like temperature, it's just another knob for controlling creativity. Max length is super straightforward, it's just a word counter to keep the AI from rambling on forever. Stop sequences are actually really powerful. Think of them as a safe word for the AI. You can tell it, hey, once you type a period, just stop. And that is great for forcing a very specific, structured output. And finally, there's frequency penalty. This is like telling a friend, dude, try not to use the word literally so much. It just makes the AI's language sound a lot more varied and natural.
Okay, so now you know the ingredients and you know about the settings. Let's talk strategy. This really all boils down to 3 simple but incredibly powerful rules for writing prompts that just work every single time. Rule number 1, be specific. Just look at this comparison. Explain prompt engineering? That's so vague. The AI has no choice but to guess the length, the tone, the audience. But the prompt on the right, it is crystal clear. Use 2 to 3 sentences for a high school student. It nails down the audience and the exact format you want. By taking out all that guesswork, you're guiding the AI directly to the kind of answer that's actually useful to you. Okay, rule number 2, show, don't just tell. In prompt engineering, this has a name. It's called few-shot prompting. And all it means is you give the AI a couple of examples to learn from before you give it the real task. So instead of just telling it to classify sentiment, you show it what a correct answer looks like. Here, we show it that we want the output neutral to be all lowercase. And look what happens. When we give it the new sentence, it follows that pattern perfectly. It's like teaching by example. And rule number 3 is a classic communication tip. Tell the AI what to do, not what not to do. It's kind of like telling someone, don't think of an elephant. What's the very first thing they do? They think of an elephant. In this first example, telling the movie bot, do not ask for interests, just doesn't work. The AI still asks. The much better prompt gives it a positive, direct instruction. Recommend a movie from the top global trending movies. It gives these AI a clear, easy path to success. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's put this stuff into practice. This is where it gets fun, where we combine the ingredients, the settings, and the rules to tackle some pretty complex real-world tasks. First up, code generation. This is one of the most powerful things you can do with a large language model, but it can fail so easily if you don't give it enough context to work with. The crucial point here, again, is being specific.
A vague prompt like, "Get me the students," would totally fail. But this prompt specifies the exact database language, MySQL, and the specific group we're looking for, students in the computer science department. Now, to make this even more powerful, you'd usually first paste in the database structure itself, giving the AI all the context it needs to write a perfect, ready-to-use query.
All right, now for something even trickier, complex reasoning. These AIs often really struggle with multi-step logic problems. If you just throw a tricky question at them, they'll often jump to a conclusion and usually get it wrong. Take a look at this. The simple prompt on the left gets the wrong answer. But the better prompt on the right doesn't just ask the question, it tells the AI how to think. Just by adding that little phrase, solve by breaking the problem into steps, we force the AI to slow down, identify the numbers, add them up, and then check the result. This technique is called chain of thought prompting, and it literally unlocks the AI's ability to reason correctly. It's a game changer. So, when you boil it all down, mastering AI isn't really about learning some secret programming language. It's about learning how to communicate with clarity, with context, and with intention. A good prompt isn't a complex command. It's a clear conversation. It guides the AI to the outcome you want, and that's a skill that turns this tool into a seriously powerful collaborator. And that really brings us to the end. You now have the fundamental rules, you've got the ingredients, and you know about the settings to start crafting some really powerful prompts. So the only question left is, what are you going to build? What will you discover? Now that you know the language of AI, what are you going to ask it? Thanks so much for joining me.